Hello, on this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a clone of a VM using VirtualBox. So as you can see, my interface, it is the VirtualBox interface from Oracle website. And all I need to do is just basically, if I want to get the details of the VirtualBox, you can see here, and the About page is a VirtualBox 6.1.0. So I just need to temporarily create a clone of this VM. Earlier, I did a clone already here. So all you do is just right click here and then click on clone. And you could just give the name of the clone and click next, and then say full clone or link clone. If you want to do a full clone, that would be best, because whatever is the size of the hard disk, everything, you clone it, and then it will just take about 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes, depending on the size of the full virtual machine. So at this time, since I did it, I'm just showed you the steps that I did. Here, I'm going to cancel this one, and this is the virtual machine clone that I just made about 5 minutes ago. So what I'm going to do is remove this other clone, which is called Ubuntu _ desktop 21. So let me just remove this one. And when I have options of removing only the virtual machine or the entire hard disk, at this time, I'm going to delete the entire hard disk. I'm going to just say wipe out everything. And then when this is done, basically, I will have no name as clone _ Ubuntu _ desktop. You can see there's no such name there. The only one that I have is a clone that I can just restore it and then rename it. But at this time, I just don't want to do a restore. I want to try to just come up with another instance of the virtual machine to create a new one so I can demonstrate it. Because when I was doing the work earlier, somehow the video was captured with a lot of audio and video noise, and hopefully I'm recording only the screen of virtual machine. It should be cleaner now. And with this, I'm going to just use the option of a virtual machine new. And on this menu, I just basically type in the name, which I want to give it the same name because I made a subsequent video and I used that virtual machine to demonstrate it, because when I posted the video, it took a long time. It never processed within YouTube. So I'm recreating this one. Hopefully this one will not have as much noise on the video and audio. So let me just call it Ubuntu _ desktop 21. Same name that I had given previously, and it's a Linux Ubuntu. So I click here next, and then here I could give about 4 gig of memory. 4096 is the 4 gig right there, and then I'm going to say next, and create a virtual hard disk. Now I click on create, the default button. The VDI virtual disk image is the default. I choose that one. Say next, and dynamically allocated. Yes, create it. The size is 10 gig. I'm going to just make it 50 gig. I could have just given longer, but I want to just 50 gig is plenty for this one, and it's a desktop. I could install an addition and increase it later on if I need to. You can always increase the size of the disk, but you don't shrink it. There's options. You can shrink it as well when you need to do it, but you need to back it up and make sure that you have the external drives that you can just create addition swap space or swap space. I'm talking about the actual VMDK file, not swap. The storage. You can create the partition and then resize it and copy everything that was on the previous version. So create in this case is going to happen. And right now, this version 21 Ubuntu is about to be ready for me to do the ISO image. So I had already downloaded. I'm going to go right click here or click on the setting, or just up here, since it's highlighted, I can click here on the setting. It will be the same thing. So this brings up the general kind of tab, and then here the general tab is fine, everything. I just leave it, and then system for the 96, which is 4 gig of RAM, random access memory, is fine. So I'm going to be okay with the processor. And instead of one, let's just make it two processor. Two processor, I have 4 processors, so I give 2 of them here. And then the acceleration is good. I go for the display. I'm going to do the video memory and increase it to max size, so it will support it better. And then the monitor count, since I only have 1 monitor, that is what it is. And then I'm going to come on the storage. The file that I allocated here, the VDI, virtual disk image, is 50 gig, about 56 gig. But ISO image needs to be mounted. So I'm going to click on this plus symbol and then look for the ISO image of Ubuntu, which is right here. I have Ubuntu 21. Previously, I selected it. So I choose that ISO image, version 21 of Ubuntu desktop. And at this time, I'm just going to say OK. And then when you do this one, you can click on the start button. The start button will just start the installation, basically configuring the partition of the hard disk, and then installing all the software, setting up the local account, as well as the root account. So right here, it says that go ahead, select the VDI file. Ubuntu 2018 is not the one that I want. I want the 21. Where's the 21? 19. Ubuntu 21 right here. I select this one and then I say choose. And now it says Ubuntu 21 desktop, and then I say start. So at this time, it's going through the virtual disk. This time, I'm not moving anything out of the ordinary location, so it does not fail anything. And it says at 21 second, I'm going to press enter, so I could do not wait for 21 seconds, and it will just continue on the installation. The installation is not going to be fast enough in terms of the size of the hard disk, and then the installation of all the binaries and everything that is there with images configuration. But at this time, it's going to be just nice enough that once it starts going, we will resume again on the video. Ubuntu startup of the ISO image, configure the partition, the network, the user account, the root, and then install all the packages which are Debian version of a package are called DPK, Debian packages. Unlike the Red Hat, which is RPM, Red Hat Package Management. So it is Ubuntu Linux, which is graphical user interface with all the installation is for the first year. Run the update software will be installed. That I already put that part of it after the installation was completed. So please watch that one for continuation of this video, and you should be fine with everything that I did on these steps. Just a little bit about Ubuntu operating system is the Linux version of Ubuntu. The Linux is distributed by Linux, Red Hat, CentOS, Rocky, Ubuntu, all SUSE, Fedora. All of these are Linux platforms. Rocky and then CentOS, so OpenSUSE, Arch Linux, and so on. Red Hat, everything is Linux. On the other hand, we have Solaris, Unix-based operating system, AT&T, HPUX, DECOS F1, Solaris Express are all Solaris Sun Microsystem product that now is owned by Oracle, and it's based on BSD. Mac OS X is also based on BSD, so it is all good bit. So we can see some thing happening on the screen, and then I'll resume it again. As you can see, the interface is working on the graphical user interface of the desktop itself, and some of the nice interfaces looking. You can see from the look and feel of it that it looks nice. So I'm going to choose English, and we're going to do install it, record, and then I'll continue. And then normal installation of Ubuntu. I don't want to download because that would take forever. I should just do that later on. I can do an update from the internet for any of additional software that needs to be done. But normal installation is good, and then I don't want to do download updates. If you want to do download update, it takes much longer by running an app update in, the installation software for update, and then it automatically, based on whatever connection you have, the software will get downloaded. And this is just for the demo of the part that I actually want to install it. So I'm going to say erase disk on Ubuntu, and then just create it. For the VDI, it's just clean it up and then install, partition it, and then install it. The partition, you can see it as partition number 2 and 3. So I'm going to say, and it's going to do this because they with extended 4 file system and the ESP file system. And then now we're going to say, go ahead, continue with that. And then the time, so I continue with that one. I don't have to change it again. And then I'm going to use a password. Let me just make, and then repeat the same password. So it verifies it. Wait for me to log in. Require those options or no one. And then the room is that you're going to be having sudo privilege right away after the installation. And then you could just choose that option. And at this time, it's going to just set up my installation is completed. After the installation is complete, not the boot installation. The original initial installation is completed. And then when it is done, we will have the system. Then I can sudo and change the root password, set up the root password, configure the expiration for the root not to expire, those kind of stuff, and then use it initially, and then run update manager for updating all the software. Initially, if I skip that step, it will just do those steps a little bit. What are some of the good features of the software that are available here? You can just go through them and all the options that are available for you for the tools, the graphic images, and the web browsers, Thunderbirds for the webmail or mail account, Chromium. And then LibreOffice is like Microsoft Office. LibreOffice Writer is equivalent to Microsoft Word. And then LibreOffice Calc is equivalent to Excel. And then Impress is equivalent to PowerPoint. So this is very good tool that if you're building some stuff, you need to just have these options on Linux or Ubuntu platform as well. Language support, appearance, positive appearance, and then assistive technology. Here we can skip this one because we already saw it. So at this time, I'm going to let it run, and I'll pause the video. So it is moving from installing system, configuring system, scanning the installation media, and then please wait. And as you can see, it will go through retrieving those files, and then it's going to go through thousands of package. Those 29 is just a small one that it will go there. As you can see, the bar, the progress bar is just even like not 5% done yet. So it is going to take a while. Running the Debian packager, and now installing some more additional libraries. Okay, good news, it's ready to restart now. All the software is installed, so I'm going to click on the restart now. Here it's going to prompt you for the removing the installation medium. So Ubuntu automatically removes it, but I'm going to check it to make sure that that's not the case. I mean, that is the case, that it is removed. So under the setting, if you click on it and look at the storage, and you can see that the Ubuntu ISO image is not removed. So I'm going to remove that one. Say remove attachment. And again, double checking on it under storage. So you click on the setting and then click on the storage, and this file is not removed. So I'm going to just click on the remove button to make sure it is removed. If the installation is not giving you the option to remove it here, apparently by pressing enter here, it will remove it for you. So this is what I'm affecting, and check it out and see that it was removed, but the setting is not enabled yet because it's going to go through the rest of the installation configuration, and then we'll run the updater, and the system will be ready next for our initial usage. Okay, our initial login page is coming here. So I'm going to click on Wahid for my user ID. I'll provide the password that I set up. And I'll be logged on here to the initial login. We will do that one, and then after that, our system is ready for our use. There's a little bit delay on the software depending on what kind of network and what kind of memory and everything you have. So this one, well, somehow the screen is not shared anymore. I'm going to reshare it to make sure it is done properly. So the recording is going on, and I'll just show you the interface. Now the interface is coming. You can see here, show application. So all the application are showing up on the screen that the initial this software are available for it. And then the next thing that on the top of the application is a trash. And then on top of it is Ubuntu 21 ISO image. And then welcome to Ubuntu screen. So if you click on that one, we skip that one and then improve that part also. We don't need to send a, because this is a test purpose and location privacy. You can, it's your choice, and then your privacy. And whatever I do is good with you. So we just are getting along here. And then now you can say done on this one. And this is the interface here. there's other Rhythm Box, and then the file managers, and Thunderbirds, and then Firefox. All of those ones are available. Network is through NAT, network address translation. And then we can see that if I just open a terminal here and open terminal, and then we just say clear the screen, and I'm going to say ID. So that's my user ID here. And just making the screen a little bit bigger in terms of the font. So this adjustment that I'm doing is for Windows size, I can increase it, the whole thing, with a bigger size, so you can see it. But I think I'd rather not do that one, because somehow the graphic images is going to just not be recorded properly. There's going to be a lot of noise. So I'll leave it as it is right now. And then this time you can see the alternate tab, this window that comes out for update software initialization. Then it's going to just say remind me later or install now. I'm going to go ahead and say, and if I'm just using a terminal and I say cal, it might just work for the calendar, or it may just say, oh, you need to do apt install. All of those essential software that are there are needed for it to be updated first in order for us to use it. So I'm going to log in the password here. Once the update is completed, then I have the system ready. And otherwise, you have to do like apt install and cal for calendar, apt install NetTools, and then do a wedge netstat. It will be showing there. But again, some of the -a, you can see that it is our Ubuntu version, x86 4-bit, and also the version of Ubuntu is 21.10. You can see all of that information. But the update to show the soft update, as you can see, there's an icon here. The terminal that I open here, I can just say ping google.com to make sure that I can be on the update software, will download the Ubuntu related packages, and does the complete the updates, and let the update install complete. And when that one is done, basically we will have the system ready for our use, and everything will work. So again, I'm going to pause the video because it's going to take a while to complete all the packages. Okay, the nice thing is now this update is finished, and I'm going to just open a terminal just to select some of the options here that we are going to see if the cal command, for example, now it is there. It is not still there because we need to reboot it, like netstat -rn is not there. So I'm going to reboot it and then check it out. Excuse me. This time the restart configuration is done, but sometimes after the services is started, we would know that exactly how fast it's going to come up, because the servers are going to start up and see how long it takes. Usually VMs are very fast in terms of response, but again, it depends on how much memory you have allocated. This VM is given 4 GB of RAM, which is plenty for a desktop that is initially starting. Let's see, we're just timing it now. So far, so good. It's not that slow. In a few seconds, it should come up to the next stage right there. That's good. Just think Ubuntu will start up usually or longer. So that's 5 seconds already passed. Let's see that not talking, but we're not hearing anything from operating system, any noise or some kind of gesture that they, okay, I'm working on it. Right now, it just changed the color of the desktop. So that's nice. Now I have the prompt for my user ID. I'm going to type in the password. This is going to come up, and this is the validate updates. Now the commands that are essential to the operating system to work, those should be available. Some of those software developer version or workstation, they are available. Let's see, I had to do one before the updates. I had to install it here. This one is coming, and as you can see, my activity screen is coming. The apps screen is really nice looking with all the apps there, and then nothing for the updates. Ubuntu software, there's nothing running. And right here, and when I right click on the desktop, let me just right click somewhere here, and I'm going to just open a terminal, open in terminal. The terminal comes in, and then I could clear my screen, say -a cat etc os-release, and you can see that it's Ubuntu 21.10. So that's good. If I type in calendar, now the calendar command is still not there. That's not good. And then the netstat is still not there, most likely. Yeah. So those tools should have been installed already. Now I'm going to do sudo su-dash. It's not a problem. I'll just install those two. And then for additional software, I can add it also if it is not configured. So the way you install software, you have the package manager called apt. And then here I'm root now. So I clear my screen and my ID is root. Now I say, if I say which netstat, netstat is not there. So I'm going to install netstat. If I say apt, actually do netstat command -rn, it already tells me the syntax of how to install the net-tools package. So use the apt command and the net-tools. And that one will install it. And after that one, netstat command will be available. Similarly for the calendar and cal, I will have to install it. So let me just do these two and then complete this. I can always install them and configure them and everything. And there will be subsequent videos that I will show you how to use Ubuntu once it's installed and configured, running everything. So now this one is done. So if I say which netstat now, the netstat is available. So clear my screen, netstat -rn, now it's going to run the output and it's going to work. But the cal is still not there. So I'm going to do apt install in cal, and that one also will install the calendar commands. So sometimes the dependencies are met. If there's any recursive dependencies, the apt package manager will automatically go on the internet and find out whatever package are there. So now if I say which ncal there or which cal, ncal is done for new calendar. So cal will run it, and also ncal is the new cal will also give you. As you can see, the format is a little bit different. So calendar -j, for example, will give you the Julian format. Cal, like for example, 1/20/23 will show you that January 1st falls on Sunday next year. So that's what it goes on. If you want to see calendar of 0001, let's say the 1st of January of that year, 001, you can get that output also. And then calendar of 1 of 2070, the epoch calendar, you can get that one as well. And then if you want like a calendar minus before 2, that means that this month calendar is April, but then March and February was 2 months before. If I want to go 3 months, you just type in -b3. And similarly, if I want to go after 2 months from this month, this current month is April, and then May, June would be that. If I want to go 5 months from there, you can see that's the output there. Okay, so the command calendar is working, everything is working. I'm gonna exit out of this. I'm back here. Even with clearing the screen, if I just type in calendar here works, netstat here works. So netstat listen, I can see all the ports that I'm listening and everything. We will talk about all those commands, netstat, and the rest of the commands that we will do it, SOF and everything at a later date. So at this time, and thanks for watching, and please stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is my Web University free educational videos. And that way I can bring you the latest and greatest for other operating systems, as well as a Python programming language, as well as C++ and shell scripting and Rocky version of Linux and Ubuntu, Solaris, Windows, all these nice tools, Apache web server and everything else. Have a nice one. Thank you. Peace to all. Love and peace for everyone. Bye.